What's up, you movie collecting maniacs, and welcome back to the Lucid Nightmare. I'm your host, as always, Jay Schatzer, and today it is time for another Quickie movie haul. I got some great stuff. A few just came in, some that have been sitting in the pile like usual. Pile's kind of fluctuating, so I feel like we're making some kind of progress, but yeah, let's get into it like normal and see what we have in store for you all. But first up is a very low budget 80s. Wait, no, this could be 90s. I think it's on the cusp of the 90s. A low budget zombie horror film that's in the vein of George Romero and that ilk. It is a movie that I had a love-hate relationship with. When I first saw it, I thought it was crap. But over the years, I've softened to it. I think it's actually pretty fun and interesting. At least the beginning half. The ending part kind of carries on. But really cool low-budget film. And with a lot of heart. It is The Dead Next Door. I know it's directed by J.R. Bookwalter, which sounds like a made-up name to me. But really interesting. I know the cover always hooked me on the VHS, seeing it in video stores, of just seeing it online when I was doing research. And it never lived up to that, I guess is what... I thought it was going to be like a Day of the Dead almost kind of style film, like a George Romero one. But low budget. I mean, the effects are pretty good in it for being a low budget film. And it's just a really weird, interesting tribute to his kind of zombie films. There's a lot of like tongue-in-cheek kind of things. Like a lot of the characters are named Romero and Raimi and stuff like that. Really cool stuff. Fun, ridiculous, and I'm kind of glad that I have this on Blu-ray now because I've never owned it prior. So I think it's a Blu-ray and a DVD combo pack by a company I've never heard of before in my life. But really happy to have it in the collection, and I've been wanting to revisit it recently because it's been since college that I watched this one, and maybe once more on a Monday movie night with the guys. But yeah, it's definitely unique and not everyone's cup of tea because of its low budget kind of trappings, but really cool film aside from that. And I'm hoping that I'm going to be doing a review on it sometime in the near future, just because it is interesting to kind of look back on these oddball low budget flicks that kind of were inspired by George Romero and all the other horror directors out there. But The Dead Next Door, interesting film. Let's move it on to a totally different film. It is a martial arts action Hong Kong flick with two of my favorite martial artists from the 80s. The movie is, and it's a huge deluxe set. I wasn't expecting it to be this deluxe. It is Righting Wrongs, and I can't remember what the other title is off the top of my head, but I know it's in one. Oh, Above the Law. So it is Righting Wrongs, aka Above the Law, with Cynthia Rothrock and Yun Bao. I never know how to say his name. Yun Bao, something like that. But this cover is pretty badass, as you can see, and it's kind of like a hard case with some more different artwork on here. But this movie is crazy as hell. Like, it is over the top action, fast paced, very amazing choreography. Some more art. I mean, there's so much different art to this package. More art in there with the alternate title, Above the Law, and I believe I do own this on DVD. Was that Dragon Dynasty, or there was some company that was putting out all these ones. More stuff. This is like a little booklet here with just information on the movie with some stills. There's Cynthia Rothrock. But Yun Bao is definitely an underrated in the mainstream, I guess, if you're not really following Hong Kong action. But he's been in a bunch of films, a lot of Jackie Chan films. There he is right there. I just watched him in The Iceman Cometh, which was pretty badass. That was my first time seeing that one recently. Like, I think I watched that last month or 2 months ago. But yeah, this movie in particular is awesome. And this is Vinegar Syndrome that put this out, and they just went ridiculous with the packaging. I mean, there's so many slip covers and hard cases. It's like opening up one of those Russian dolls. But another art there, and the inside with 3 discs. And I looked over it briefly, and I think it was, one was the original Hong Kong version, and there's an extended one. And then the 3rd disc was a documentary, a 90-minute documentary, I think, 91-minute documentary hosted by John Saxon that has footage from a whole bunch of different people. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bruce Lee, I guess, from old archive footage, Jackie Chan, Karen Shepard, Yun Bao, and Cynthia Rock with interviews with them. So it kind of goes over all kind of martial arts movies around that time period. So I'm really interested in checking out that documentary, just because there are so many that I still don't know too much about, because their availability has always been hard in the United States. So you'd have to get an all-region player and really kind of hunt and search for movies that had halfway decent transfers. But luckily, more and more movies are coming out that are being restored and kind of presented to the United States. And this one is one of the top ones that I wanted in the collection, because I do have it on DVD, but this set I could not pass up. So cool, and such an awesome, fast-paced movie with some really awesome sequences. But Righting Wrongs, aka Above the Law, hell yeah, glad to have it in the collection. But let's move it on. This movie's ridiculous. It's pretty much a 1977 Italian King Kong ripoff. And if that doesn't say it all, I don't know what will. It is Yeti, Giant of the 20th Century. And I actually watched this one not that long ago, and I remember bits and pieces, but it is a weird flick. Weird, bizarre, and fun. But I probably should rewatch it and do a review on it, because it's insane. And there's the Yeti, and he's just some guy in a weird ass costume. But I don't know why, he reminds me of Uncle Jesse from Full House, the guy who's playing the Yeti. So imagine Uncle Jesse from Full House going ape on people, destroying cities. It's weird. It's weird. But Yeti, Giant of the 20th Century, very, very fun flick from the 70s with just a cheesy, low-budget King Kong ripoff. And I love King Kong ripoffs. Huge fan of it. I guess you could call this a kaiju film. But, yeah. Weird stuff. And this was put out by Code Red. And I know Code Red's been doing a lot of reissues of stuff that have been out of print. I picked this one up a long time ago. I can't believe it still hasn't been shown off. It's been hiding in the pile over there. But, yeah. Yeti. I don't have anything else to say other than I've never had it in the collection before. So, first time in the collection on Blu-ray from Code Red. But let's move on to a movie I actually just reviewed recently. And it is one of my favorite Japanese horror films dealing with ghosts and kind of technology and the fear of that. It is Pulse. So if you want to know my thoughts on Pulse, definitely check out that video review that I just put up last week or 2 weeks ago. I don't know, time seems to be flying. But this one's awesome. This is like my favorite. Just the tone, pace, the horrific moments, the atmosphere in it. It's very, very distinct, and it stays with you for a long time after viewing. But Arrow Video put this one out, and I owned it on DVD, which is where I ripped the video from for the video review. But I always wanted to upgrade it because it is one of my favorites. But this one came with the Blu-ray and the DVD. And yeah, just an amazing film. And like I said, definitely check out that video review because I go in more in depth of why what it's about and just kind of the quality of it. And you get to see the visuals because there are some really haunting visuals in this one. I've always loved this one from the first time that I watched it back in, I think it was around college when I just started really branching out and trying to grab as much stuff as I could to kind of research. And it blew me away. But and I watched it recently before I did the video review. And it was just as captivating as the first time I watched it. So definitely recommend that one if you guys like Japanese horror or just really weird kind of ghost stories that fuse the fear of technology and kind of losing our humanity. And it deals with the depression and anxiety. It's really, really awesome. Just a really interesting kind of combination of everything. But yeah, and I don't know how to transition to this next one, but it is let's see, I think it says it's an outrageous spoof of sci-fi films of yesteryear. So uh, it is pretty much it's pretty much Flash Gordon, but I guess you want to say a sex comedy satire. And I watched the trailer for it, and just from the stop motion alone in this one, I had to pick it up. I ordered it instantly. And the movie I'm talking about is Flesh Gordon. What a clever play on words. But this one looks insane, and I think I'm gonna watch it tonight because I am in the mood for something insane. But I'm really, really excited to see these stop motion creatures here in motion. It's pretty much pulling from like Ray Harryhausen style of animation, but really cool looking, and it's kind of, I mean, it's low budget, but it looks like it has a more budget than it needs to have for a spoof comedy, sex adventure, sci-fi adventure thing. Very, very strange. And I've heard a lot of you guys have actually recommended this one over the years, especially for my my Flash Gordon review. But I've never had the opportunity, or just I'd never hunted it down. And now I remedied that, and I'm super excited to watch this one because it just looks ridiculous with a lot of naughty puns throughout it. It's just ridiculous. It looks ridiculous, and I'm so excited to check it out. But yeah, Flesh Gordon, and I don't even know who put this one out, so I don't have high hopes. Hen's Tooth Video. I don't really have high hopes for the transfer. I'm not looking for gold, but as long as it's viewable, I'll be happy. But it's on Blu-ray, and I've never had it in the collection prior. So really, really excited to finally check out Flesh Gordon. And I know you guys have recommended it, so maybe if I like it enough, I'll do a video review on it, because it sounds like a fun time. But let's move it on to another fun time. An 80s comedy that I've always watched when it was on TV. I would not... if it was on TV, I would just stop what I was doing and check it out, because it is that good. It's got a really awesome cast to it and a lot of ridiculous moments. It's just it's a weird comedy too. The movie is Men at Work with Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez. So the brothers actually made a movie together about two garbage men that kind of get mixed up in a weird, like political crime drama kind of situation. And it's got I had his name and now I forgot it. Keith David from a whole bunch of movies, but you always remember him from They Live and John Carpenter's They Live and John Carpenter's The Thing. But he's awesome in this movie. But yeah, it's just a fun, ridiculous film. And if you haven't seen it, it's just pretty much a typical 80s comedy. But there's a lot of little drama in there, and it's hard to explain. You just have to see it for yourself. But I've always loved this movie, and I think I have it on DVD somewhere. It could be packed away, shamefully. But now it is on glorious Blu-ray to be displayed in all its splendor. But Men at Work, fun movie. Both Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez do an amazing job in this film, and it's just a whole bunch of fun. So really glad it is in the collection, in the Blu-ray form. And yeah, great stuff. But let's keep moving along, because I don't know why it's taking so long. I'm getting too much into depth of these films. But the next one is a Hammer horror film that I've watched a few times, but I mix it up with a lot because there's so many amazing Hammer horror films. And it's a play on the old Frankenstein kind of tale that they always do every so often. But this one is Frankenstein Created Woman. But I remember bits and parts of this one, but he creates a woman. She's a psycho. You know how the story goes, and then the monster runs amok and kills people, and he's got to cover it up. But it's got Peter Cushing right there in the main role. And I don't remember off the top of my head which horror Hammer hottie this is. But yeah, it's got the alternate artwork in the inside, and then you got that cool there with the slip. But yeah, it's Hammer horror. You can't go wrong. And I have just a whole section dedicated to Hammer horror. And I mean, that's just right there, but I think they're all scattered all over the place. I gotta organize this place. It's just getting overwhelming. But this one, good, fun, I don't think I've ever done a review on this one, so maybe I should remedy that sometime. For some reason, like, I like to, during October, around that time period, to get into kind of the Hammer horror spirit, because they do such gothic, distinctly atmospheric kind of horror films. And that's when I get in the mood to kind of break out all the Hammer horror stuff. So maybe I'll do one for that around that Halloween time, October. But, I mean, you can't go wrong with Peter Cushing, so I don't think there's really a bad performance he's ever done. I mean, even in Shockwaves, he was interesting and strange, so can't go wrong with him. But let's keep moving on to I guess this is what you would call an Alien ripoff. And I watched it recently too, and I don't remember anything about this movie. The movie's Primal Scream. It's an Alien ripoff. That's about all I remember. I don't remember the characters. Sometimes, like, I zone out, I think, because I'm watching so many movies and have so much stuff going on, like, with the channel and outside the channel, that, yeah, some of these things are just blurring together. Maybe I'm just getting old, I don't know. But, Primal Scream, I remember it was entertaining, but I'm gonna have to watch it again and sit down and really kind of pay attention, and if it's good, I'll write a review. I probably was trying to do a review, I don't know. I don't know when I watched this, or what was the purpose. But Code Red put this one out, so another one of their ones that are probably out of print, and then they reissued it, and I probably picked it up on a Kino sale sometime. But yeah, Primal Scream. You know anything about it, let me know, because I totally forgot when I watched it recently, because I'm losing my mind. But that's it. That was the last one of this pile. So really cool stuff. We got here. Ugh. Bear with me here. But holy shit, they almost went flying. But yep, there we go. What a pairing, Righting Wrongs and Flesh Gordon. But yeah, awesome stuff as usual. And like I said, I'm probably gonna watch Flesh Gordon tonight, because I've been wanting to watch that one for a long time, and I'm in the mood for something silly and ridiculous. But yeah, that's it for me today. Hope you like that one. Hope you like what I'm doing here, and hope you saw something you might want to pick up or even revisit if you already own it. But stay safe, stay out of trouble, and I will see you guys the next time I'm in front of a camera talking about movies. So stay safe and stay out of trouble, and see you later. Get on out.